How you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Well, I'm taking requests now, apparently, because one of the subscribers said he wanted to see Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 3. And now that I have all my comics organized, I could find anything. It's. I was just putting some red comic books away, and it was such a pleasure actually going to the correct box. They were the right comics and putting things away. So if anybody has any comics they would like me to showcase, if I have them, I will definitely do it. Why not? I'm doing a comic book a day. There's plenty of time for everybody. So unfortunately I don't remember who it was that asked me, but here you go. This is a fun comic. I haven't thought about this in a long time, and as you can see, this is really well read. I read this over and over again. I got this off the newsstand when it came out. It's not beat up enough for me to go and buy another copy. Since we're here, this is Marvel 2-in-1 Annual, 60 cents, 1978. The regular comics were, I think they said, still only 35 cents, which we all know means 40 cents is right around the corner. So for those of you who don't know, annuals are specials that are like double-sized issues that come out once a year, hence the name annual. And they come out in the summertime when kids have more free time to read comics. And the sales did go up during the summertime, kids running around, I guess, going to the store buying comics. And let's be totally honest. Back in the 70s, 1978, comic books were a kids market. Today, the average comic book collector is older than the 15-year-old kid, 14-year-old kid back then. So here we have Marvel 2-in-1. This was a comic that came out every month, and it featured everybody's favorite, or at least my favorite, Ben Grimm, the Thing. And he would team up with somebody else. So Nova was the new hotness at the time, and so they're teaming him up. And look at these. Somehow we got to stop these things, or the world is doomed. It is no use. Nothing can defeat the monitors. Lady, I sure hope you're wrong. So here I got this at the newsstand, and I'm just looking to see. This is the my mouth. The cover artist is Sal Buscema. I don't know why. I wanted to say Romita, and I had to check my brain and mouth. Okay, so free booklet. There you go. Get into shape. Like more facts? Your choice. You could do this. Shape up. Get that waistline down and muscularize it. I was like this. Fat will disappear, replaced by muscles. And then you'll have dynamite sticking out of your arms, which is treatable today with the shot of penicillin. So anyway, here we have When Strike the Monitors. Not to be confused with DC's Monitor, who was the protagonist or the antagonist, I forget which term fits, of the Crisis on Infinite Earth. This is Marvel. So look at that splash page. We got Rich Rider, Nova, the human rocket, just zipping around, flying around Manhattan. And here's a guy from 1942 out the window just pointing at him. Look at that. So let's take a look. Look at this guy over here painting the bricks. Okay, so we got Marv Wolfman is the writer. Anybody who's been watching my channel for a while knows that Marv Wolfman's just great. He did the wonderful New Teen Titans with George Perez. Just classic, just a classic. Sal Buscema, the layouts, and like I said a few times, Sal Buscema was just a Marvel workhorse. He was one of the first wealthy Marvel guys. I met John Romita Sr. We had lunch at his house once, and he told me that Sal Buscema was the first Marvel regular to make over 100,000 in a year, and he used to yell at him, "You're too slow. Stop erasing. Use every line. Use every line." And John Romita said he was too much of a perfectionist. He had to erase, and he would get teased. So Frank Giacoia is the inker for pages or for chapters 1 and 2, and Dave Hunt inkers on chapters 3 and 4. Okay, so we got Joe Rose in the letter and Phil Rachson colorist. Okay, and yes, I'd already said 78, so there's really no need. I always just look at the indicia to see if what year it is. So here's Rich Rider. How cool would it be to be able to fly? So I showcased Nova #1 earlier, but just a quick recap. Basically, he's got the Green Lantern origin. A space alien crashed on Earth and gave him his powers. That's really all you need to know about him at this point. So his powers are alien spawn, come from the planet Xandar, which I think might play a big deal coming up soon in the Marvel universe movies. So there we go. And he's flying. So he's got like super strength. He could fly, and I think he's got like limited invulnerability, and his suit protects him from environment, so he could like fly in space and do all that kind of cool superheroic stuff. And he's a teenager. He's like in high school, so he's like, you know, Peter Parker was the teenage sensation of the '60s, and now Rich Rider is the teenage sensation of the '70s. So this construction worker is about to fall. I guess he look at the steel. I guess this is before OSHA. Look at the steel girder just falling. Oh no, doesn't tumbling down at the same time. So he's gonna rip off a banister, and he makes it rather than catch the guy and the steel beams on a banister. Yeah, that'll work. But you know, these guys working at Marvel have no concept of how freaking heavy a steel girder is. Hey man, thanks. I thought I was done for. Don't mention it. Just another day in the life for a superhero. So he's contemplating his life and all this stuff. And that's one of the things that Stan Lee said. That you can have them thinking about like accounting in their thoughts and word balloons, you know, be dull and everything like that. But actually, it's a comic book. Your special effects budget is unlimited. So, you know, that's why I have to laugh at Modern Marvel when they have all these superheroes in their civilian clothes sitting at Starbucks talking. You know, they can have that same conversation while they're chasing down a mugger and stuff like that. So look, here's this guy going crazy. And, the car's going out, going to hit this Aunt May looking old lady. So he grabs the car. Look how strong he is. So he couldn't grab that girder. And the leg. Lord, look, it's a leg coming down from nowhere. I swear I do not cough all day long. I turn on this freaking camera and I start coughing. It's definitely psychosomatic. Blue blazes, what in the world? He's got to be alien. Either that or an ad for the next Godzilla movie. So here's look at that face. And that's definitely a Sal Buscema face. That's one of the there's another Sal Buscema face. The Sal Buscema faces always have this like scowl. You know, so the bad guys always have that scowl. So that's like, to me, the best way to figure out who the artist is to look at a face. So that's and then look at this. If you remember the Captain Marvel #1, the Marvel one, it had like just silly looking spaceships. Well, that was Sal Buscema also. He just took these as assignments. He famously had a low opinion of comic books, but he knew he could make a lot of money at it. He was good at it, and he was fast. So that, you know, that's the way he looked at it. You know, so look at that. Just low imagination. I mean, it's the tripod, classic tripod from H.G. Wells. So here he is. He's boinging into him, ricocheting off, and then he got crashed by green laser beams. And he's like, I'm no fool. Whatever it is, I can't take it. I'm not strong enough. So he goes knocking on the Avengers door, and Jarvis answers. Remember, in the comic books, Jarvis is an actual person, not a computer program. Edwin Jarvis. He's their butler. And the Avengers aren't home. So the Baxter Building, show one group. Let's hope the FF's home. Wait a sec. Didn't I read somewhere about them breaking up? Please let them be there. So he just goes in. You know, that's one of the famous superhero tropes, or at least Fantastic Four tropes, is all the tricks and traps in their headquarters. So of course he breaks in and he triggers off all the alarms and why can't I think of the detainment systems and stuff like that. So now he breaks out of that and zips around, crashes through the door. And I always get a kick out of this. I know I'm exaggerating it because memory is a funny thing, but I mean, didn't Hellcat come and look for the thing and he's laying in bed? Like every time a superhero comes to the Fantastic Four, like in these Marvel 2-in-1s, Ben's always laying in bed sleeping. Poor guy can't get some Z's. And he just pulls him out of bed. Good thing he had his little shorts on. don't want to see his pebbles. And hey, how'd you get through Reed's protection gizmos? I smashed them all. Come on, it's emergency. Hey, aren't you Nova? So this is apparently the first time they're meeting. So he doesn't know who he is. He smashed through everything. And Nova smashes bank hold up. Nova stops robbery. Yeah, so he's giving him newspaper clippings. Come on, I'll explain on the way. So he brought his credentials. And I'm going a little fast because I don't want to spend 30 minutes. This is a double size, so I don't want to spend 60 minutes talking about this comic. So here we go. The monitors. What are they doing? They're drilling. So this one monitor is just digging up in Manhattan because everybody landed in Manhattan. So he punches him. Oh my lord. Oh, here's one in France. Look at that foot. So, and I think this, the third one. So now this woman, by all rights, this woman should never awaken. Her purpose of the ship demands her unconsciousness. Why? Oh. However, twin golden eyes snap open with startling suddenness, and from them golden fire melts the construction chamber. Like a goddess, she rises from her resting place, as slightly as the gargantuan aliens in whose ship she rides. She turns to the control boards and activates it. It's only then that she speaks in a voice born from the heart of a pearl. Once more the monitors have landed, and once more our world citizens struggle to stop them. Alas, they will lose, and blah, 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 blah. Get some skateboards. You see, I tell my niece's nephew this, that skateboards were longer and narrower when I was a kid. And then my late teens, skateboards came back and they were like fatter. So I don't know which ones were harder to ride. I rode skateboards, but I wouldn't say I was any good at it, and I gave up when falling down started to hurt. It used to be you fell down and you laughed at how silly you must have looked. And after a while you fell down and you're like, oh, geez. And that's when I stopped. So here she is. She's explaining that these monitors, they land and then they test the life forms on the planet by whatever alien standards they have. And if they don't meet their satisfaction, they destroy all life on the planet. So she's beaming down. She turns into this, like, what is she called? She metamorphosizes into basic atomic structure, and then the strange girl is gone quick as though thought itself hurtling through the skies towards her goal. Look at the ships just on a magnitude. Like I said, this was just an assignment for Sal Buscema. So he's a little bit hurt after punching the big old thing, and Richie's going to help her, and then she shows up. And of course, the male aliens are colossal and ugly and huge and everything, and then the female aliens are sexy with nice hair, because why not? So she's explaining the situation. No world has ever survived their mighty power. She goes, but for the first time in countless eons, I have somehow escaped their grasp, and I come to you to help me free my sisters from the other ships. So we've got a little Deus Ex Machina. The monitors are too powerful for Rich and Ben to defeat, but luckily, Sexy Girl from Space is gonna, if you wake them up, the Sexy Girl from Space will help them defeat. So they're transformed into this subatomic molecular goo. Oh no, I guess her backwash carries her, and she flies and reassembles, and there's Sexy Girl number 2. Really, Brains? I see a couple of more baddies than you can imagine, and one thing I learned, looks don't mean a hill's worth of beans. Take me, for instance. Take my hand. These are the monitors. They obliterate worlds, destroy them without remorse. If you wish, I could show you such 1,000 scenes. So she's, whatever, mentally projecting the destruction of all these worlds at Ben. And, Ben's a good guy, but, you can understand where he's coming from. I wake you up, and then what? You help destroy the world? Just because you're pretty doesn't mean you're good. And he's like, look at me, I'm ugly and I'm good. Ben's always down on himself. I talked about the Pinocchio. Ben is the original Pinocchio. I can't help but talk about that concept of the Pinocchio that I made up when I was, talking about comics for kids. But the Pinocchio is a character that's not human and wants to be human, and because of that, they're more humane than other people, because he knows what he's lost, or he knows what he, what he needs to get. So I always say, like, even though Hellboy was never human, Hellboy's a Pinocchio. The Thing is a Pinocchio. If you read Atomic Robo is a Pinocchio. So there you go. And even to a certain extent, I'd say the Hulk. Serious. Oh, so the monitor's coming through the wall, and look at things just blasting. He's bakowing his hand. 12-inch dolls. What is this? Get our 8 variety. Oh, these were the Migos. I never knew there was a carrying case. I obviously have seen this before, but I guess I never paid attention. But I had Iron Man, I had Captain America, I had the Falcon, and I only saw the Thor Mego figure once. It was upstate, and I was staying at my grandfather's house, and he wouldn't buy it for me because he had long blonde hair, and that was for girls. The Beatles comic. Okay, Spider-Man. I'm trying not to foreshadow. So Spider-Man meets the Homewrecker. That's a great name. The Homewrecker. So he's laughing at me. It looks like one of my coworkers, and it smashes him. Oh, fruit pies. All right, next. Fruit pies. How dare you? You disappointed me, Spider-Man. It's all about Twinkies. I'll even accept cupcakes. I'll accept devil dogs. Oh, those are Drakes, but I will accept them over fruit pies. I'll accept almost anything over fruit pies. Are disgusting. How many times do we have to go over this? We've seen this ad. I already told my pizzazz story. Here's the slate of DC of Marvel Comics. So the monitor grabs the thing, blasts them. He's holding them and blasts them. Man, you can't wriggle out of that one. And Nova hasn't really been doing anything. I gotta say, come on, Nova, you gotta up your game here. You're hanging out with Ben. He's one of the big boys, so he's trying to break him out, straining, and he separates the fingers enough for Benji to get out. So look at that. So now he's rocketing towards him using momentum, but unfortunately he got zwapped. And what happened? He got teleported into deep space. All right, take it easy, Richard. I'm no longer on Earth, but where the heck am I? Wherever it is, my recycling oxygen supplies just sprang into action. So his helmet, as you can see, will jump ahead. This like plexi shield comes down and preserves his oxygen. So now he's just flying around in space. And you gotta think about how scary that would be. I don't know. I mean, as a kid, you never really thought about it, but geez, you're in space and you don't know where you are. How are you gonna get home? That is just terrifying. I think about stuff like that. So that sun definitely looks like it's ready to go boom, which puts me in its path. What did I say? There she blows. So not only did he teleport him into space, he teleported him into a space with a world going Nova. So I got 3 minutes of air. So what happens now? My proverbial goose is cooked. So build up the suspense and change scenes. Classic storytelling. So Ben is over here with ready to throw punches at old green face. And now 2 of the women are awoke. Do not move, Monitor. You have already lost. My sister is free. You know our combined power is great enough to stop you. And Mug, look at that Mug. Instantly, it signals its fellow monitors, alerting them to the peril that lay ahead. And they turn into subatomic molecular goo and fly away. Just as quickly, the 2 females comprehend the meaning of his silence. Hey, where you going? I said, what the heck? What are you doing? So I knew it. Nova's gone, and they leave me to tackle this creep alone. So he feels double-crossed. So, all right, handsome. Looks like it's up to me. So fighting, and then Ben just gets. We don't even know what happens. For a split second, I thought his foot broke off. Doesn't that look? The coloring is a little off. By the time the blue-eyed battler could see, he almost wishes that darkness would overwhelm him once again. Cripes. Only hope my belt buckles. I gotta hope they work. So he's fallen, and even the thing can't survive a fall that big. Stop the presses. It's the famous Clark Bar Superheroes sweepstakes. Did anybody win this? I would love to know if anybody won this. So we got the Ben Grimm smiling like a freak, the Hulk, Spider-Man, Captain America, and Red Sonja. Okay, I always love this. We got some Batman stuff in a Marvel comic. I remember as a kid, I always thought that was like, ooh, the rules are being broken, you know. So remember, Ben Grimm is part of the Fantastic Four, and the hallmark of the Fantastic Four. Like I always thought, the Fantastic Four should have been like one of the most popular toy lines because you could sell anything, you know, any gadget, everything like that. Because Reed Richards is always making doodads and gadgets and ships and stuff like that. So it's just a natural. So and it's been established that inside of his belt there's an array of monitors and doodads, and I know I said that word already, devices. So he calls over the Fantastic Car. So woo, at a moment's notice, it comes flying, and now he's not going to fall to his death, which is good because I like Ben Grimm. He's my favorite of the Fantastic Four. I always say that, and I use this term purposely. He's the cornerstone of the Fantastic Four. He's the heart and soul. He's the good guy. He's the Pinocchio. So here, the Monitors, they're symbolically going to destroy the world. Ben is thinking about it, and all the marbles. So here we go, chapter 3. As Tokyo goes, so goes the world. So we had one Monitor in New York, Manhattan. We had one Monitor in Paris, and the third Monitor is in Tokyo. So Ben just flew out to Tokyo, and I guess the Fantastic Car's fast as all get out. So now these women are please hurry, Kalara. We must free our sister before the Monitor sends our attack. So they're phasing through the walls, melting through the walls. I don't know. And then the Monitors with his mug face is scowling at them because what else are you gonna do? And he just they don't even show, but he just bats them away. And this Monitor is the angles just showing you his supremacy, his power. So here he is, Ben showing up. Oh, I didn't even notice this. This is the third of the Deus Machina twins, triplets. She's just laying in there. And here comes Ben. And now I guess the Monitors are beaming in. Look how big they are. Look at their freaky feet. And Ben is just like I said, he's a good guy. He's desperate. He's got to save the Earth. So he ain't giving up. He knows he's outclassed. He's jumping up. And then these women molecular transportation abilities. Hey, put me down. I want to clobber that creep. Hey. Oh, well. So, you can't clobber the creep. Clobber the creep. Clobber the creep. That's just, I don't know. It's just good. Do not complain, my friend. I saved you. From that oversized pickup stick? Come on. Do not jest. The Monitor's powers are incredible. Yeah. You told me that before. I just got sick of being booted around. That's all. So that's what I like about Ben. He knows he's outclassed. He knows he has no hope of not even of winning. He has no hope of survival. But he's not going to stop. He's going to do the right thing because Ben Grimm is a hero. Ben Grimm is the most human of the Fantastic Four, even though he looks inhuman. So look at that. They're just trying to turn this mud hole into cosmic dust. And keep in mind, the rest of the Fantastic Four are all good too. So, he's the goodest of the good. And here she's telling the story of the Monitors. They're just whipping around, being all arrogant and bored. And then they send out their ships to destroy worlds that don't make it to their standards. So that's what they're doing. They're drilling in planets. And in the opinion, they were hopeless. And worlds would be decimated. Well, decimated means 1 out of 10 were killed. They were destroyed. Use your terms properly. Marv, you're a good writer. You should know what words mean. So she's ashamed of them. And now where do you screwy sisters come in this tale? The Monitors required power. We had the power they needed. We were placed inside their ships, captive of their whims, and siphoned off our. So these, it's like the Matrix. They're human power batteries that the Monitors use. So, that is when I sought out you and your young friend. Speaking of, where is Nova? Wow, free bikes, burgers, and candy bars. Wow, that's like getting a van, kid. All right, so here he is. He's panicking. I mean, wouldn't you? He's running out of oxygen. He has no idea where to go. And ka-wham. What hit me? Everything's turning black. Hold it. Unless my eyes are on, everything's gone completely. I'm in some sort of space warp. What the heck did I do to myself? And you've only got 1 minute of air left. And he's all stretchy because that means I only got to get 1 minute home. Right now, I'm stretching toward like I was Mr. Fantastic. This proves what I thought. I'm in a space warp, one that bends reality. When I let those electrons carry me from that nova, hey, if I stop the flow of electrons. So, I don't know. This is kind of goofy. And this is one of those things that they do in comic books where they just, babble. But he flew so fast that when the supernova exploded and hit his acceleration, he went to a space warp, and it just happened to lead him home. Yeah, I don't know. So now he's through mental will. He's willing this space warp to stop and whatever. Later on, if Nova gains the ability to actually generate warps and travel like at warp space speed. So I'm going to fix this. I'll get myself a no prize, and I'll say that he tapped into his potential that he will have later on in a couple of years. So if a no prize, for those of you who do not know, Stanley people would write letters and they would explain, like I just said, how did he just happen to warp to Earth? You don't just happen to find Earth in space. So, Nova. One of the things about the Nova powers is it later on they gave like a navigation sense and a warp ability, so he couldn't get lost in space. He doesn't know about that yet. So in his sheer desperation and panic, he tapped into an ability that he doesn't know that he has yet, but he will develop later. There, I explained it. So this isn't a mistake. I fixed it. So writers would write to the comics and say stuff like that, and then Stan Lee or the editor would say, "Congratulations, you just won a no prize," which was nothing. You won no prize. But I think, like rumor has it or the legend has it, that you actually got an envelope, a sealed envelope from Stan Lee with nothing in it. So I think you could go on eBay and buy sealed no prizes. I know I've never won a no prize. I was a dumb kid. So now we're going to go to, this is Nova's girlfriend, Ginger J. They dated for like 23 issues. This is his, I think this is his little brother. Everybody's worried about Rich Rider. And here he comes back. I warped back from space, I'm just doing some stargazing, that's all. You must help us. We must distract them. So here we have the main superheroes are relegated to the role of distraction so that the Deus Ex Machina triplets could save the day. So he wonks, waps, and wops because, why not? I tell you, I have a 3-day weekend coming up, and I'm going to wonk, wap, and wop all day long. And you're not stopping me. Not even you, Paul. So here we go. They're beaming in. Scrutch, that's the actual sound of a tree being uprooted, and swam. He's hitting the monitor's tripod-like ships. And this panel, I don't know why. This comic came out in 1978, and I always remember this panel. The way he's just looking with scorn and derision, and something about these beams, I don't know, that always reminded me, woomph, yo, that creep gave me a blasted hot foot. I love the fact that Ben Grimm is the worst cursor in the world. He's got the filthiest mouth of non-curses ever. Cripes, blasted, verschluggen, stuff like that. I just love how he curses without actually cursing. How embarrassing, how humiliating, how mortifying, how ridiculous. So here they are. These two, they need their third sister to wake up. Sisters, I am alert. I am free. Take my hand and let our powers flow free once more. So now, the monitor's like, we're in deep dog do. Silently, they replan their attack. The females must again be their captives. All that they've accomplished these past 60,000 years will be wasted. So these poor girls were trapped for 60,000 years. They'll stop the females. They must destroy one, and that has never been done before. How can the monitors risk destruction now? One by one, they finally agree it is their only chance for the continued survival. So he fires Kawam at one of them, and she's a robot. Bet you didn't see that. They're fembots. Blue Blaze, I can't believe she's a robot. I knew it. I knew it was down to my itty bitty stockings. We've been hoodwinked. So so he felt bad for them, but they're robot. No, we've spoken the truth. We're the power beyond that. We are machines. We have evolved. So over that 60,000 years, their programming has given them true consciousness. Like they were like, I guess, automatons, and then over the 60,000 years of running systems, stuff like that, they've achieved true sentience. So here's chapter 4, Wrath of the Monitors. Pow, scam. Look at them. They're just blowing crap up. And remember, they're in Japan, so they're just blowing up Tokyo. They're used to it, though, right? Godzilla poems, Titanic superhero t-shirts. I had that. My fat belly sticking out. This always freaked me out. It always looked like just one leg. Strong arms, one leg. We'll give you strong arms, but you must give us one leg. So here he goes flying, and you think he's going to hit him right in the temple, but he gets blasted. These monitors are no joke. And look at, he just gets propelled into Mount Fuji. Yeah, it suddenly forward is Nova's mind as we return to the side of the ramp. Hey, so he just gets blasted. And this poor lady and her kid is about to get smushed, but Ben ain't having any of that. So he whams the ground and whap, whap, whap. I told you, Ben's going to whap, whap, whap all the time. And he creates shockwaves that knock them over, and the monitor misses them. And then he zwats them with, what is this, a street light? I don't know what it is. I'll put a little zap into your corner. Maybe I should, oh yeah, electric light. So he uses street light and he zaps them. Pack. That wouldn't work. I happen to know for a fact that if these two lights were to cross, it would short circuit and cut off. That's what I do for a living. So, wham. He shoots it at him. And he's flying around. And maybe they're almost time to put on some extra Nova speed. So, he makes it up to the top of this volcano, and he pushes him into the volcano, and boom, just what I thought, Fuji was extinct. Now how in the name of Laverne and Shirley could it blow up? It's a stupid question. These girls made the I thought one blew up. I guess she reassembled. Hurry, it is your time. So Patak, Ben is falling on the ground into the subway system. He's not giving up. Here comes the train, and he jumps out of the way, and this guy gets whammed by the train. I imagine there's got to be people on it. Holy, I believe this creep's been evaporated into nothingness, but I still live, and I wish to speak. So they're talking. Speak. I always yak away with would-be world smashers. Come on, flyboy. Up with the emit, slug. Let's slug it out. No, Benjamin J. Grimm. Cease your attack. This one will talk, we are sure. You know? We observe, we understand. With our sister rebuilt, perhaps you merely decided we could destroy you. But we will offer you life, providing you return with us to the homeworld, and convince your people to end their ways of judgment. Choose, Monitor. You know my decision. For long ago, I had tired of our way of life. I would not have provided your freedom when we first landed. I will go back. So, ta-da! Plot twist. One of the three mug faces is actually secretly sick of all this destruction, and he woke up the first girl who he set the whole thing in motion. So they wave their hands and use their Deus Ex Machina power and restore Tokyo and I assume New York and Paris. I can't believe it. That's so anticlimactic. Well, frustrating. I didn't even have a chance to yell its clobber in time. And things like that could drag you down, could drag a good thing down for an entire day. So the team up effort, so the Fantastic Four, Marvel 2-1, and so now they're advertising the comics. You want more Ben Grimm, you could buy the Fantastic Four, you could get more Marvel 2-in-1, and you could buy Nova. Let's face it, that's what it's all about. And then Dracula will give you some Slim Jims. This poor kid is pondering the nature of the universe because this Grit had the secrets of the universe in every issue, but nobody read it, so nobody knew what the secrets of the universe were. And 3 complete fishing outfits. That's pretty cool. I used to go fishing with my parents. And this Spalding presents street ad. 30-footer. So the Spalding Cook, Rick Barry and Dr. J. I know nothing about basketball. So there we go. Like I said, I don't know why it's not focusing properly. But here we go. One of the viewers requested a comic, and yeah, of course, why not? That would be fun. If anybody has a request for a comic that you want me to showcase, I'll gladly do it. Why not? That's what it's all about. It's about having fun, and this is fun. I probably wouldn't have thought of this, so I appreciate. I haven't looked at this comic in years, so it's kind of neat. So if anybody has a request for a comic, if I have it, yeah, sure, of course, I'll showcase it. I would be a jerk not to. So, hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry I don't remember who requested this, but there you go. That was fun. I enjoyed this. And have Labor Day's coming this weekend. I hope you have a nice 3-day weekend. Enjoy. The summer's almost over. Enjoy. And thank you for spending time with me. I appreciate it. I know I tend to ramble, so thank you so much. Bye-bye.